Welcome to Rare Breed Brotherhood. The moment you start bending who you are to keep the peace, you lose a war within yourself. If you're the type who walks alone not because you're antisocial, but because you can't stand shallow connections or fake energy, there's a reason for that. You're probably a Sigma male, the kind of man who doesn't fit into anyone's box and refuses to play roles just to make others comfortable. Sigma males aren't cold. They're just allergic to nonsense. They've learned the hard way that peace of mind is more valuable than popularity, and that protecting their time, energy, and self-respect is not optional. It's survival. This world loves to glorify noise, conformity, and validation chasing. But Sigma males are different. They don't need the spotlight to feel powerful. They don't chase trends, they don't beg to be understood, and they sure as hell don't tolerate things that drain their mental clarity. That's not arrogance. It's discipline. If that sounds like you, own it. You're not here to be liked by everyone. You're here to live in truth, move in silence, and stand your ground when the world pushes you to fold. This isn't about being perfect. It's about knowing what you will and won't allow in your life. That's power. That's freedom. And that's what makes a Sigma male impossible to control. Number 1, people who talk but don't execute. Sigma males respect movement, not noise. Here's the thing. Sigma males aren't impressed by promises, plans, or big talk. You can tell them all day what you're about to do, how you're grinding in silence, or how big things are coming. But if there's no action behind it, they're already checked out. It's not because they're harsh. It's because they live in a world of results, not wishful thinking. Sigma males move differently. They don't announce their goals on a loudspeaker. They just get to work. They don't seek applause. They want progress. And when someone constantly talks without delivering, it drains their energy. It feels like being stuck in a conversation that's going nowhere fast. They've seen this pattern too many times. People hyped up on ideas but allergic to discipline. People who say they're going to launch that project, quit that job, fix that habit, but a year later nothing's changed. Sigma males don't waste time chasing potential. They look for proof. This mindset comes from their own journey. Sigma males had to learn how to follow through. Nobody held their hand, nobody gave them shortcuts. So now, when they meet someone who talks more than they do, but works less than they should, they lose interest instantly. Not because they're judging, but because they know what it actually takes to build something real. And fluff talk doesn't cut it. They don't say, "One day, I will." They say, "Watch what I'm doing." Sigma males keep their heads down and their standards high. They'd rather fail in silence than succeed in someone else's spotlight. And that's why people who love the sound of their own voice but never move their feet will never get their respect. Bottom line, don't talk to a Sigma about what you're going to do. Show them. Or step aside while they do it themselves. Number 2, moral hypocrites. Sigma males have zero patience for people who act one way in public but live a whole different life when no one's watching. They see right through that polished image, the perfect quotes, the carefully crafted good guy routine. Because for Sigma males, character isn't about how loud you talk about your values. It's about how quietly you live them. You can't preach honesty and then lie when it's convenient. You can't call yourself loyal and then switch sides when things get tough. That double life, it's a deal breaker. Sigma males live by a personal code, one that doesn't bend depending on who's in the room. And that's what sets them apart. They don't need the crowd's approval to do what's right. They do it because it matters to them, because they've learned that integrity isn't something you post about. It's something you prove when nobody's clapping. So when they meet someone who talks about morals, ethics, loyalty, or discipline, but their actions tell a different story, game over. Sigma males won't call them out or argue. They just detach, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Why? Because they don't waste energy trying to fix people who aren't honest with themselves. To a Sigma, hypocrisy is more than just annoying. It's a red flag. It screams insecurity. It shows a lack of self-awareness. And if there's one thing a Sigma can't stand, it's someone who pretends to be something they're not, just to get validation. Sigma males aren't perfect, but they own their flaws. They don't hide behind fake morality or curated personas. They believe real strength is being the same person in the dark that you are in the light. So if your words and actions don't match, don't expect a Sigma to stick around. They don't follow preachers, they follow proof. And if your character is only skin deep, they'll walk right past you like you were never there. Number 3. Intellectual laziness. Sigma males have no patience for people who switch off their brains and just follow the crowd. They're wired to question things, to dig deeper, to understand why something is the way it is, not just accept it because that's what everyone says. So when someone blindly repeats what they heard on social media or just goes along with popular opinions without thinking it through, Sigma males lose interest fast. To them, that's not conversation, it's just noise. See, Sigma males don't need you to agree with them. They don't even mind if your views are completely different. But what they do need is for you to have actually thought about what you believe. If you can't back up your opinions, if you don't ask questions, if you're too lazy to explore beyond the surface, then the Sigma will mentally check out. They don't have time for shallow minds. Because here's the truth. Sigma males earn their mindset. They've spent years breaking down ideas, unlearning garbage they were taught, and rebuilding their worldview from the ground up. That takes courage. That takes effort. So when they see someone coasting through life on autopilot, never questioning anything, they see it as weakness. And it's not arrogance, it's about depth. Sigma males crave real, meaningful discussions. They want to challenge and be challenged. They want truth, not recycled opinions. They want to talk to people who think, not just react. If your entire belief system can be shaken just because someone else disagrees with you, a Sigma male will never take you seriously. They'd rather be silent than talk to someone who's just echoing someone else's thoughts. At the end of the day, Sigma males aren't impressed by how loud you speak, but by how deeply you think. And if you're not willing to think for yourself, they'll walk away before you finish your sentence. Number 4. Play it safe, advice givers. Sigma males instantly recognize the kind of people who mask fear as wisdom. You know the type. The ones who always have something reasonable to say when you're aiming high. Be careful. That's risky. You should stick to what you know. But here's what Sigma males know deep down. Most of that advice doesn't come from a place of care. It comes from fear. And more often than not, it's fear from someone who never even tried. Sigma males don't take life advice from people who've settled. If your entire mindset is built around avoiding failure, rather than chasing greatness, they're not listening. Because Sigma males aren't here to play it safe. They're here to grow, stretch, and take calculated risks. Playing small just to stay comfortable? That's not their language. They've heard it all. Just get a stable job. Don't rock the boat. Be realistic. But Sigma males weren't built for average. They'd rather take the long, painful road towards something meaningful than sit comfortably in a life that doesn't challenge them. So when someone throws safe advice their way, they don't argue, they just walk the other direction. Here's the honest truth. Most people give the kind of advice they wish they had followed. If they gave up on their dreams, they'll tell you yours are too hard. If they never took a risk, they'll warn you against trying. But Sigma males don't internalize other people's fear. They translate it as a reminder of what not to become. They don't mind failing. They mind staying the same. So when a Sigma hears someone say, "I wouldn't do that if I were you," their response is simple. Good thing you're not me. Because they know safe advice rarely builds an extraordinary life. And Sigma males aren't here to survive. They're here to thrive. Number 5. Forced groupthink. Sigma males aren't here to blend in. They're here to think. And if belonging to a group means sacrificing their mind or pretending to agree just to be accepted, they'll walk away without a second thought. They don't do echo chambers. Period. In today's world, it's easy to fall into circles where everyone says the same thing, believes the same thing, and praises each other for not rocking the boat. But Sigma males weren't built for that. They can spot groupthink from a mile away, and to them, it's mental prison. They're allergic to fake unity. If a group only allows one right way to think, they're out. Sigma males don't join tribes to feel validated. They don't need people clapping for their opinions to believe in them. In fact, they like disagreement. They welcome challenge. They know that real growth comes from friction, not forced harmony. See, Sigma males are self-led. They form their beliefs from experience, logic, and deep reflection, not peer pressure. So when they find themselves surrounded by people who get angry, the moment you ask why, they mentally pack their bags. They're not here to repeat group slogans. They're here to learn, evolve, and sharpen their own mind. And here's what makes them dangerous. They'll listen carefully, then question everything. That makes them a threat in groupthink environments. They refuse to follow blindly. They challenge norms. They expose cracks in the system, and insecure people hate that. So rather than conform, Sigma males choose solitude, not out of arrogance, but out of integrity. They don't need a herd to feel whole. They'd rather walk alone in truth than stand in a crowd that's lying to itself. So if agreement is the price of admission into your circle, don't bother inviting them. Sigma males don't join tribes to be told what to think. They are the tribe that others quietly watch from a distance, wishing they had the guts to do the same. Number 6. Micro-control freaks. If there's one thing that will make a Sigma male disappear without warning, it's someone trying to control every little move they make. Sigma males do not respond well to micromanagement. In fact, they see it for what it really is, not leadership, not structure, not helping, but insecurity wearing a mask. People who constantly need to control everything around them are usually terrified of what they can't control: freedom, unpredictability, independence. And Sigma males are those things by nature. When someone tries to tell them how to think, when to move, what to do, and how to do it, Sigma males immediately feel boxed in. Not because they hate structure, but because they hate being owned. They're deeply independent, fiercely self-led, and they trust their instincts more than anyone else's checklist. So if someone starts nitpicking their every decision, trying to fix things that don't need fixing, they're already planning their exit. To a Sigma, micromanagement isn't just annoying, it's disrespectful. It says, I don't trust you to handle your own life. And Sigma males, they've spent years earning that trust in themselves. So no, they don't need your hand-holding. They don't need constant check-ins. They don't need someone breathing down their neck. What they need is space, trust, autonomy. They thrive in environments where they're given room to move, experiment, fail, adjust, and do it all their way. Not because they're stubborn, but because that's how they operate best. People who try to control every detail. Sigma males view them as small-minded, not strong, not capable, just scared. And they don't argue with control freaks. They just disconnect quietly, fully. Because here's the truth. If you can't let go of the reins, you'll never hold a Sigma's respect. They're not here to be managed. They're here to lead themselves. And if that's too much freedom for you, they're gone before you even realize you pushed them away. Number 7. Power without purpose. Sigma males see right through the illusion of empty power. They're not impressed by flashy titles, big followings, or people who walk into a room expecting instant respect just because of some label or status. In fact, nothing turns them off faster than someone chasing influence just to feel important. Because Sigma males don't admire position, they admire purpose. To them, power without direction is just noise. It's chaos wearing a crown. When someone wants to be in charge but can't answer why they're leading or what their leadership even stands for, a Sigma mentally checks out. They don't play the game of kissing rings or feeding egos. That's just theater to them. They know that real power isn't loud. It's not found in dominance or control. Real power is focused, calm, and deeply rooted in a mission that's bigger than the person holding it. And if that's missing, Sigma males will never follow you, admire you, or care about your so-called influence. In fact, they'll challenge it, quietly, intellectually, with questions you probably can't answer. Sigma males are lone wolves for a reason. They don't follow just because someone's at the front. They follow truth. They follow vision. They follow people who have something real to offer the world, not just something to prove to themselves. So when they meet someone addicted to attention, status, or being the boss without any depth behind it, they don't fight it. They disengage. Because bowing to hollow power goes against everything they stand for. They're not here to feed egos. They're here to build meaning. And that makes them dangerous to every power-hungry fake leader out there. So if your influence is built on image instead of impact, Don't expect a Sigma to follow your lead. They'll never be the soldier for someone else's empty war, because they don't need power. They are power with purpose. Number 8. Emotional tantrums in adults. Sigma males have no time for adults who act like toddlers in disguise. They're not heartless. They just expect a basic level of emotional maturity. So when a grown person starts whining, throwing guilt around, slamming doors, or lashing out just to get their way, a Sigma male doesn't feel sympathy. He feels distance, fast. Because here's the thing. Sigma males are wired to stay calm under pressure. They've trained themselves to process emotions internally before reacting externally. So when they see someone constantly seeking attention through drama, emotional blackmail, or guilt trips, they see it for what it is: emotional laziness. It's a refusal to deal with your own mess, so you dump it on others, and that's a no-go in a Sigma's world. They won't argue, they won't try to fix you, they won't even entertain the chaos. They'll just vanish, mentally and often physically, not out of cruelty but out of self-respect. A Sigma male protects his peace like it's gold, and someone who can't self-regulate is a direct threat to that peace. Here's what most people miss. Sigma males feel deeply. They're just selective about who sees it. They've fought battles inside their own head that most people wouldn't survive, so they've earned their calm, and they expect others, especially adults, to at least try to manage their own emotions without making everyone else pay for it. Life throws enough chaos at you as it is. Sigma males don't need someone adding emotional explosions to the mix just because they never learned how to handle a no or a tough day. So if you think slamming things, guilt-tripping, or playing the victim is how to get a Sigma's attention, you're wrong. That's how you lose it, permanently, because they don't entertain adult-sized tantrums. They observe it once, silently note it, and disappear like you never existed. In the Sigma world, self-control isn't optional, it's the entry fee. And if you can't pay it, you're out of their orbit before you even realize what happened. Number 9. Leeches in disguise. Sigma males have a sixth sense for spotting energy vampires. These are the people who pose as friends, smile in your face, and act like they care, but their true agenda is much darker. They're out to suck your time, steal your ideas, and drain your energy until there's nothing left. And here's the thing. Sigma males aren't fooled, not for a second. They can spot a leech from miles away. Whether it's the person who constantly takes but never gives, or the one who only comes around when they need something, Sigma males don't waste time with them. They see through the fake kindness and forced pleasantries. It's like the radar is always on, picking up on those subtle signs that the person is more interested in what they can extract than in building a genuine connection. And once a Sigma male identifies a leech, they disappear. It's not a big scene, no drama, no confrontation. They don't waste energy trying to teach these people a lesson. They just go ghost. The exit is silent but permanent. There's no warning, no second chances. Why? Because Sigma males value their time and energy too much to spend it on people who take without ever giving. They know that energy is a resource. Once it's drained, you're left with nothing. It's not just about the physical toll either. Sigma males know that energy vampires don't just drain your time. They suck the life out of your creativity, your ideas, your focus. They're like leeches that attach themselves, feeding off whatever they can take without ever putting anything back into the relationship. For a Sigma, that's a deal breaker. And here's the catch. Sigma males don't even feel bad about it. They're not running from conflict. They're running from toxicity. They don't need fake friendships. And they don't need people who only show up when it's convenient for them. So, if you're a leech in disguise, you won't even realize you've lost a Sigma until you've been ghosted for good. And that's the price you pay for trying to drain someone who's too wise to fall for your act. Number 10. Loyalty that comes with a price tag. Sigma males have a unique take on loyalty. It's not something they buy or sell based on what they stand to gain. For Sigma males, loyalty isn't about checking boxes or expecting a reward. It's a deep, unspoken bond that's earned through trust, respect, and mutual understanding. And when they give it fully. But here's the catch. If someone's loyalty can be swayed by what they get in return, if it's transactional, tied to favors or benefits, they immediately see that as a red flag, To them, that kind of loyalty is more like a business deal, and that's a deal they're not interested in. Why? Because Sigma males don't need people in their lives who only show up when it's convenient for them, or when they can get something in exchange. They value authenticity above everything else. If someone's loyalty depends on how much they can benefit from the relationship, that's not loyalty, it's opportunism. And Sigma males have no patience for opportunists. For them, loyalty should be unconditional, unwavering, and earned over time, not attached to what you can bring to the table. They'll respect and protect those who stand by them when there's nothing to gain, just as they would do for anyone they're loyal to. But when someone is only loyal as long as they're being treated like royalty or getting what they want, that's when a Sigma male steps back. Fast. In their world, loyalty is rare, sacred even. It's not about how much you can do for them, but how much you're willing to be there when it counts. If you can't offer that kind of loyalty, if your trust is for sale, they see you as a liability, not an ally. And that's the thing. Sigma males would rather walk alone than carry someone who only sticks around for the perks. For them, true loyalty is priceless, and it's something you can't fake. Number 11. Passive-aggressive behavior. Sigma males have zero tolerance for mind games. When it comes to communication, they value clarity above all else. So if someone tries to play the passive-aggressive game, dropping subtle jabs, giving backhanded compliments, or using silence as a weapon, Sigma males don't waste their time trying to decode the message. They see it for what it is, manipulation disguised as civility, and that's a game they will never play. Sigma males are straight shooters. They believe that if you've got something to say, you say it. No hidden meanings, no mixed signals. They don't have the patience for people who talk around issues, or worse, use passive aggression as a form of control. Life is too short for this nonsense. The beauty of a Sigma male is that they cut through all the layers of deceit. If there's a problem, they'll address it directly. No veiled insults, no games. They don't tiptoe around feelings or play the "let's see if they get it" game. To them, if you've got an issue, bring it up. And let's talk about it like adults. If you can't be that straightforward, then you're not someone they need in their life. It's not about being rude or blunt for the sake of it. It's about respect. Sigma males respect people who are honest and direct, not those who hide behind passive-aggressive tactics. They know that if someone can't communicate openly, there's an agenda at play, and that's not something they're willing to entertain. So if you try to throw a backhanded compliment or use silence to get attention, don't expect a Sigma to chase you down or engage in the drama. They'll see through it instantly, and they'll either call you out or simply walk away. For a Sigma, it's simple: be direct or be gone. They don't have time for the games. Conclusion. At the end of the day, Sigma males are about one thing: authenticity. They have zero tolerance for anything that undermines their core values, whether it's manipulation, dishonesty, or people pretending to be something they're not. Sigma males thrive on their own terms. They value depth over surface-level interactions, real connections over shallow approval, and true self-awareness over the noise of others. They don't have time for people who talk without doing, those who play emotional games, or those who need validation from the outside world to feel worthy. They know that growth isn't about impressing others. It's about evolving in silence, embracing the struggles, and continuing to push forward when the world doesn't even notice. They live for the truth, the unspoken moments, and the power of staying true to their word. Being a Sigma male means you're the kind of person who doesn't need a crowd to define you. You define yourself by your actions, your integrity, and your willingness to face what others won't. You refuse to let the world dictate your value, and that's what sets you apart. So, if you identify with a Sigma male, don't be discouraged by those who don't understand you. Keep walking your path with confidence, because your strength lies in your refusal to conform to anything that doesn't align with your true purpose. You're the quiet force that speaks louder than any applause, and that's why you'll always remain untouchable. Thank you for watching. God bless you.